Hey Pisces, welcome to your September love reading. This is going to be a general love reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know some of you like to check your Venus when it comes to love, and this applies for Venus as well. If you're not a Pisces and you're sneaking around and checking in on a Pisces, you're welcome to hang around. But do know that I do specific cross-watcher videos every month for people who are watching for a different sign because they're curious about a different sign. The August ones are obviously already up. September ones are going to be up in the next few days. So if you hit subscribe and notification, you'll get a notice when the cross-watcher videos are up. 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's your September love cards. And I'm going to pull a love message for you from this gorgeous, beautiful, amazing deck, which I love, that has cool little messages on the back after we look at these. So hang on for that, Pisces. Okay, so we've got 4 of Cups coming up for you in the beginning of your reading here for September. 4 of Cups is a card that comes up sometimes when we're not happy with what we're being offered. Like we're not feeling it. It's not enough. We're not pleased. Sometimes 4 of Cups could be like you're waiting for something to happen and you're feeling very bored and you want something to change and things just aren't changing. And this is going to apply in different ways for different ones of you, Pisces. Some of you, you're just kind of bored with life, or you're unhappy about the way certain things are going, and you might be missing love opportunities, or you might be kind of hung up on what someone else has put you through, and you're missing out on the fact that, someone's trying to offer you something new here. You may not be seeing it. Sometimes for me, when 4 of Cups comes up in a love reading, it's saying someone loves you or someone's trying to love you, but you're not seeing it. So if that's the case, take this in prayer, take this in meditation. Say, God, angels, universe, please help me to see, who in my life is extending love my way, or help me to see the ways in which you're trying to direct me to love that I might be missing. Because it could be that the universe is trying to put these little breadcrumbs down for you to get you moving in a certain direction to align you with that love, and you may be missing those signs. So sometimes for me, 4 of Cups is a card that says you're missing your signs. For other ones of you, you may be in a relationship in which you're not happy, or you're not satisfied. You're not feeling fulfilled by the relationship, or you're not satisfied, or you're not feeling the offers that you have or the possibilities that you have. And this doesn't make you a negative person. There could be a very, very positive aspect to this. There's Rumi, and this is actually the card of the day for Sunday on my social media. Rumi was a poet and a mystic, and he wrote about something he called divine discontentment, which means you might be discontent, you might not be satisfied, but there's a divine purpose to it. There's a reason to it, because it's in that discontentment, it's in that dissatisfaction that we realize that we're worthy of so much more. And so it's not necessarily a negative thing to sometimes be in this situation where we're not buying it, or we're not interested, or we don't like what we're being offered. Especially if you're being offered something that just really is not fair, right? Like if you've been settling for a relationship or a situation where somebody's been lying to you or mistreating you or being toxic towards you, right? There's a divine discontentment there. There's a divine discontentment to be like, you know what? I don't like this. This doesn't feel good to me. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be with somebody who's going to step up in the right way, or whatever it might be. That's just one example or one way in which it may apply. So very much there's this energy of being able to see that you are deserving or worthy of more, and taking steps in that direction. Because that's the only way it's going to change, is if we start taking steps in that direction. You might be missing the steps that your guides are trying to lead you towards. So again, take this up in prayer, take this up in meditation. Help me to see the steps you'd like me to take. Help me to understand the direction you wish me to go in here. Your next card here is Eight of Cups. Sure enough, what did I tell you, Pisces? You're not feeling satisfied. And if there's any card in tarot that says I'm not satisfied, Eight of Cups is it right there. Eight of Cups is it right there. But here's where the plot thickens. Here's where the plot thickens. The fault may not lie in your partner. This satisfaction you feel, it may not be your partner's fault. It may not be the fault of the people who are pursuing you. Those of you who have, maybe you haven't settled down yet, but you have options. Eight of Cups is a card that comes up for me when somebody is very driven and very motivated. For me, usually the Eight of Cups comes up for those go-getter kind of people. So Pisces, you may be a high achiever in that way. And you may be the kind of person where you've set a lot of goals for yourself, where you've just been this is what I want in my life, and you don't rest until you get it. But Eight of Cups comes up when you worked really hard for something, you achieved it, you attained it, but once you got it, you were like, man, you know what? I'm not any happier than I was before. I still feel like something is missing. So you set another goal. You work really hard, you reach it. Same thing. I'm not feeling any different. So Eight of Cups is a card that comes up when you have a lot and you maybe even feel like, you know what, I should be happy, but I'm not happy. If this is your discontentment story, if it's like, man, I go after all these things, but no matter what I do, I'm not happy, or this relationship, it's okay, but I'm not over the moon about it, and maybe it's not my soulmate, but if I find my soulmate, then I'll be happy. Eight of Cups is saying that you're not going to have that happiness until you find the missing cup, which is, spoiler alert, your spiritual connection. There's something that you're not feeling fulfilled within yourself. Or if you're trying to manifest love and it's just not happening because you're looking around and you're like, man, I've been single a long time. There's these people that are interested in me, but man, they sure are a bunch of jokers. You know, if you're in that energy, this Eight of Cups applies to you. This means that you need to start making your connection. Or if you're with a partner who treats you really well and you really liked them in the beginning, things were good in the beginning, this person is being good to you. They're being faithful to you. They're not cheating on you. They're not being abusive towards you. They want to be in the relationship. They're trying to love you. But you're like, maybe they're not my soulmate. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Something's missing. Chances are this Eight of Cups applies to you. So when I say spiritual connection, please don't freak out, Pisces. This doesn't mean that you have to start going to church every single day. This doesn't mean that you have to start, lighting incense and candles and chanting and doing yoga and, crystals and all that stuff, unless that resonates with you. If that resonates with you, if those things feel powerful to you, and if those things truly make you feel connected to your spiritual source, then by all means go for it. For other ones of you, it's going to be through artistic expression, creativity, getting back into an old hobby, maybe sculpting, painting, writing, dancing, listening to music, writing music, hiking, biking, running. It could be so many different things. What takes you to your Zen? Your Zen is your spiritual connection. And I sometimes share this with people. I grew up, I was raised going to church 3 times a week, once a week, an hour a day, once a week, an hour a week after school. On top of that, someone coming over and doing Bible study with me. I learned to read out of a children's Bible. That's how hardcore it was for me growing up, But I always say I didn't find God until I had my dark night of the soul, and I found God in the swimming pool. I started going swimming because the water was the only thing at that time that made me feel comfort, that made me feel like I could let go of my stress and my worries. The water, just being in that water, being in that swimming pool, doing my laps, that was the only place I felt like I can just release, it's all gonna be okay. That was the only place. And as I began doing that, it turned into a meditation without me realizing it. And through that, I found God. I connected with God. I connected with my higher power, whom I refer to as God. So I met God in the water. I didn't meet God going to church 3 times a week. I didn't meet God having somebody come and study the Bible with me for an hour a week on top of that. That is knowledge. That is how we retain facts and information and stories. But to actually make the connection is a whole nother story. And I didn't make that connection until I was in that swimming pool. So it's going to be different for different ones of us. You need to think about what element brings you the most soothing peace. What makes you feel like you can relax? What makes you feel like you can let go of your stress? And you need to start connecting with that. And I promise you, through that, you will begin making your spiritual connection. You will begin receiving your messages. You will begin receiving your inspirations that fill you with passion. And finally, it doesn't feel like something's missing anymore. Okay? And then you don't feel like you have to, point to someone else and say, it's your fault I'm feeling this way because you're not doing it for me. Or it's this job's fault that I'm not happy because this job isn't fulfilling me. Sometimes our passion and our life purpose is different from our soulmate. Sometimes our passion and our life purpose is different from what we do for a living, okay? It's not always one and the same. So Pisces, your love life is going to improve drastically as you make this connection. Those of you who are single and you've been single like forever, once you start going on this path and once you start making this connection, you're going to align with the soul family. You're going to meet the right person. You're going to have that connection, okay? The next thing here is 8 of Swords. So again, you may be feeling stuck. You may be feeling trapped. This makes me feel, Pisces, like some of you are very intuitive, but you may have latched on to a very ego-centered person. Maybe they need to have the 8 of Cups and they're not there. They're filling themselves up with very ego desires. And you're feeling like, oh, but this is my soulmate. Like, I feel this connection. And until this person wakes up spiritually, then I'm just kind of stuck because we're meant to be together and they're not waking up. So I'm just going to sit here on the back burner waiting for them to wake up so that, I can be with my love. Okay. My dears, understand this. Sometimes we see somebody at their potential and we fail to see them for what they're choosing to be in this life. Do not put yourself on the back burner, okay? I promise you that if this person is meant to be with you and you're meant to be with them, they will come around at some point. The universe will make it work out in some point for you guys to be together. But if right now they're in a place where they've made it clear that they want to go off and they want to focus on ego stuff, or they want to go off and they want to have, a different partner every single night of the week, sometimes more than one partner per day, whatever. Like, they might just be off living some kind of really out there life. If they've made it clear that that's what makes them happy, you need to allow that. And you need to stop putting yourself on hold. 8 of Swords is asking you to come out of that cage and to live your life, because if you don't, what happens is you start giving off that victim vibe. And if we're giving off that victim vibe, that's when we attract the sharks. That's when we attract the people that aren't going to have good intentions. And that's very important for you, Pisces, because you have such a giant heart. You all are such loving people. You all have such big emotions. And a lot of Pisces, you guys, a lot of you are empaths. You have that empath energy. And narcissists love empaths. Empaths for a narcissist is like the juiciest, tastiest fruit. They can't get enough of it. And so if you're in this 8 of Swords energy and you're this aching empath, those narcissists are going to come like sharks to blood. So this is a time for you to start thinking about that 8 of Cups. What's going to connect you to that spiritual connection, to that spiritual center. Or even like in your love life, maybe you have a partner who's trying to show you love, but you don't feel it. You're just like, I know this person loves me. I know I have a good partner. I know they're trying to be here for me, but I don't feel it. It's because that connection needs to happen. There's those of you who are really into music, and if you're into symbolism, you might want to listen to Florence and the Machine. She has the song Big God. I need a big God, or Big God. It's really, that's what the song is about. Like when we need love because we feel so like a longing without it, and it's because that connection is missing. I don't know, I was blown away when I heard that song and I saw that video. I thought, wow, what a beautiful way of being able to explain this concept to people. I'm not a dancer, I'm not a songwriter, so I can't express it as articulately as she did, but some of you might find that very interesting, or you might want to check that out. But I'm telling you, my dears, love is trying to connect with you. Love is like your angels and guides are trying to like bring you to this love, but this lack of connection, or this just, moment of not feeling so great about yourself, is preventing the love from connecting. Okay, it's not going to stay like this forever. Don't worry. That's the reason for this reading. This reading is trying to give guidance on how to change it, how to come out of it. Next we have Temperance. Okay, so this is a card about patience. This is a card about divine timing. This is a card about learning to, you got to learn to walk before you can run. This is also a card of reassurance, where Spirit is trying to say, look, there might be things in your life right now that you're not super happy about, that you want really, really bad. And you just kind of feel like this is the life that's meant for me, but these things haven't panned out yet. The Temperance card says it's coming, but there's factors behind the scenes that you may not see right now, or you might not be aware of, right? You might be ready. You might be doing all kinds of work here on yourself. You might be like, oh, I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to be productive, and I'm going to make sure I'm paying my bills, and I'm going to be healthy, and I'm going to, take care of myself, and I'm going to be the kind of person I want to be in a relationship with. You may be doing all of that stuff. But there could be, especially if you're putting out to the universe that you want a very specific soulmate, that soulmate might not be ready. Okay, they may have things they need to go through. They may need to have their spiritual awakening, or they may need to get their life together, or they may need to, get out of a toxic relationship or a karmic connection. But if you stop and put yourself in that Eight of Swords, put yourself on the shelf and just waiting kind of energy, it makes things stagnant for everybody. You're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing your soulmate a favor. If you want to get energy moving for you and your soul family, everybody's connected, you need to keep moving. You need to keep living your life. You need to be open to the possibility of love and people coming in. Okay? Because, you might not realize it, but you may be hung up on someone who's a karmic, and there's even a better soulmate coming in that you can't even imagine. But Temperance says, have faith. Have faith in the divine timing. It's coming. In the meantime, you got to keep going. You've got to keep going. Next, we have the Hermit. Again, this is the spiritual connection. Pisces, you guys are maybe having a hard time here with feeling fulfilled and feeling emotional intimacy, okay? So this is a good time for you to kind of disconnect. This also makes me feel, Pisces, like some of you have people that are getting in your ear and really, really, really being toxic for your love life or a current relationship, right? Like, oh, is that wife of yours still, out and about, or is she still talking to that ex? Or, oh, is that husband of yours still looking for work? Or are they bringing money home? Or like whatever it might be, like they might be coming in and they might be saying things. Or, oh, what happened to that one loser you were dating? Or, oh, did that guy or did that girl ever call you back? Or little things like that. Like they're putting this poison into you. So the Hermit card is asking you to just take a moment and disconnect from all of that and listen to your heart, listen to your spirit, listen to your body. Maybe this could be a good homework assignment for you in finding love this week, Pisces. I want you to maybe take a nice shower or take a sea salt bath, maybe, or go for a walk if it's a safe enough time or a safe enough area. Do something to just kind of cleanse your energy. Maybe get your little rest area wherever you sleep, your room or whatever. Go ahead and get it cleaned up, get the clutter out of the way, and just either sit down or lay down and ask yourself, just check in with yourself and just ask yourself, maybe close your eyes, what does my body need from me now in order to feel loved? And wait and see what comes to you. Write it down. What does my spirit or soul need from me right now in order for me to feel loved? See what comes in, write it down. What does my heart need from me to feel loved? See what it says, write it down. And then ask yourself, what in my life is making me feel not loved? What or who in my life makes me feel separated from love? Write that down. And those are the toxic things that you're going to have to watch out for. And then you have to start taking the steps, what your body might be asking for. Your body might be exhausted. Your body might be like, look, Pisces, you are pushing me so hard with all these goals. I need some sleep. I need some nap time. I need some rest. I need a massage, or I need a pedicure, or I need a nice home cooked meal. I don't want that nasty takeout crap anymore, or whatever it might be. Your soul might say, I need to connect with music, or I need to be in nature, or I need to laugh. Whatever it might be, just see what comes in. The Hermit mode is when you just kind of spend some alone time to figure yourself out, so you can align yourself with the right people and the right causes. Some of you are having a massive spiritual awakening, so do prepare for that. It's going to be different for different ones of you. We're going to go ahead and connect here and see what's happening with your love message. And again, those of you who are really into the different card decks that I use, if you're curious about them, I always have a link in the description of the video that will, take you to the cards if you want to get them for yourself. All right, so go ahead and take a look at this card and see what's jumping out at you and how it's speaking to you. I see that dragon, like your luck is going to change. I think of dragons as lucky. I think of dragons as protectors, at least those kinds of dragons anyway. And then I see that flower blooming, like love is blooming, something is growing. But I also see this person here, like they're resting, they're being gentle with themselves, and they're even kind of like pointing at this heart. So I feel like this is about you checking in with your feelings, your emotions, coming into this time of healing and realizing that your luck is going to change here, that things are going to be getting better for you, that love is going to blossom, that love is going to bloom, right? Figure out what you want to do here so you can take the appropriate steps. And as we look on the back of the card, and again, you might want to pause the card, you may want to, take a screenshot and see how it's speaking to you. The message here on the back is the actor. You will have to become aware of the politics of your situation to succeed. Only then will you be able to reach the love that is your goal. You'll have to act your greatest role. When one you love declines to play, Then hide your time, watch what you say. I'm saying bide your time, watch what you say. For now pretend and play the game, you'll win and set their heart aflame. So for some of you, your partner may be going through something, or you haven't met your person quite yet, or the person that you feel you're meant to be with, they have things they need to work on. And this card says you need to live your life in the meantime. Okay, you need to understand what they're saying and not get pulled into an argument with them, not be trying to change them, and just live your life and be in your passion. Okay, and let this person come around. By loving you, and I know it sounds generic, but it's the truth. By loving yourself and being in your joy, you're gonna make yourself more irresistible, to these other people. It's the truth. Okay, so this is what's coming in for you, Pisces. Again, watch your moon sign and rising sign or your Venus videos. Some of you may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do. If you click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, it will take you to the scheduling page where you can schedule a private reading with me. There's different options. There should be something, within your price range. Hopefully there's different options, like I said, different ranges. So check that out, see what works for you. And again, my dears, don't forget, the weekly forecasts, because sometimes we get so caught up with love, we forget about the other areas of our life. But, every single week I do a forecast for each zodiac sign for all the other areas of their life. So your love life, my dear, I do feel like there's kind of love here, but I feel like until you have this connection within yourself, you're not going to be able to feel the love. And Spirit wants you to feel this love. God wants you to feel this love. Universe wants you to feel this love. Okay, my dears? So I hope this was helpful. Again, maybe watch your moon or rising or your Venus for a little bit more info or a few more pieces to the puzzle. And those of you who are cross-watching, keep an eye out for those cross-watcher videos coming soon for September. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a fabulous September.